there are questions domestically and abroad which it sometimes seems to me we cannot answer because we've already ruled out certain things. What I mean is there is a type of problem which we cannot solve because we know already in advance what the answers cannot be. Now, domestically, and in the case of who are we, I should say, it slightly comes out like the Chinese technology. Who are we?
I'm afraid of the answer to the question, who are we, will be who are we?
Yes, exactly. I'm going to steal that.
And what's the next intifada is the antifada, yes. Please kill them, kindly. I mean, we do intellectual theft, don't we? I'm joking.
The second antifada. Yes, I think that in the domestic realm, it's quite straightforward that you have to, in America, Western Europe, you have to say, who are we? You have to say we are a multicultural society which owes our existence to a huge range of sources. That's what you have to say. Now, it's not entirely true. In fact, it's a bit of a lie, quite a bit of a lie in some circumstances. But that's the only sort of acceptable one.
That talks about the force of the mob, the demonic possession of the mob, the ideological possession, if you want, is René Girard, and he describes the moment when Jesus was rejected by the mob and Barabbas was selected. Yes. So the mob should not be trusted, and in the 50s and in the 60s, all the Polish, Czech, Romanian intellectuals were put on trial and sent to prison by the mob. They were treated very unfairly. So perhaps history should teach us that no human life should be sentenced to death only because the crowds say so.
We have the most powerful example of that in the Christian religious tradition. I first encountered Girard thanks to Roger Scruton, who was a great admirer of his and was persuaded, as he was, of the truthfulness of particularly what Girard writes about in Violence and the Sacred. I think it's an enormously important thing, and the mimetic idea is in particular. And I wish it were better known, because once you encounter it, you understand an awful lot of what's going on around us today. And of course, that's the other thing about reading these great writers, is that it means that when you contend with them, you return to the world better able to understand what in it you can impact and do something about and what you cannot.
Well, Douglas, I'm very grateful for this conversation, an hour-long conversation. And I do hope that, 10 years from now, we will see a stronger network of conservative intellectuals in this, making this transatlantic alliance more powerful. Because in a way, it was this alliance between John Paul II and Ronald Reagan that brought to an end communism. And perhaps it's the task of our generation to expose the lies of communist China, the errors of political Islam, the faults of political correctness, and rebuild the West with renewed forces.
If I can say so, I completely agree, and I would just say that it's for some time been my view that the Eastern European countries in particular have a very, very important role to play there, because people of our age, and we're not that old, people who are, and some who are slightly younger than us, have the story that Americans and Western Europeans have forgotten. And for a young person in the West to know that their contemporaries experience the system they are trying to reenact seems to me to be the most profound challenge to them that we could have. And that's why I just urge all of our friends in your part of our continent of the importance of speaking and knowing that you have to get your voices out as widely as possible, because it is especially crucial in this generation.